The Galactic Council meeting chamber fell silent as Admiral Thorne of the Human Alliance took the podium. The various representatives, some with tentacles, others with multiple eyes, and a few composed entirely of crystalline structures, all focused their attention on the weathered human officer. "Distinguished representatives," Admiral Thorne began, "I understand your concerns about incorporating human troops into joint operations. I'm here to explain why the new combat alert system is necessary." Councillor Vrex, a towering insectoid with iridescent carapace, clicked his mandibles in irritation. "Humans have been part of the Alliance for 15 cycles. Why do we suddenly need special protocols?" The human smiled, but his eyes remained serious. "Because you keep misinterpreting our behavior in combat situations, particularly when we go quiet. 3 solar cycles earlier, a joint operation against the Void Collective had nearly ended in disaster. The alien forces had interpreted the humans' sudden silence as fear or defeat, when in reality, it signaled their most dangerous state. For most council species, Thorne continued, vocal communication during battle indicates focus and coordination. When your troops fall silent, it typically means they're injured, frightened, or retreating. The Admiral's voice lowered. For humans, the opposite is true. Lieutenant Mason had been leading a squad on Outpost Epsilon when the Void Collective breached the perimeter. The mission was supposed to be routine: secure the outpost, establish communications, wait for reinforcement. The team of 5 humans had been accompanied by 20 Axrillian warriors, reptilian allies known for their strength and battle prowess. The first wave of enemies had been met with coordinated resistance. Both humans and Axrillians had communicated continuously, calling out target positions and maneuvering with practiced efficiency. "Lieutenant, Southeastern Corridor compromised." Private Wilson had shouted over the comm. "Acknowledged. Dorn, take position at Junction 7. Lee, provide cover." Mason had responded, his voice calm but audible to all allies. The Axrillian commander, Krex, had roared orders to his own troops, their battle cries echoing through the base as they engaged the enemy. Standard procedure for both species. But when the second wave hit, something changed. The Void Collective had deployed sonic disruptors, weapons specifically designed to target the neural pathways of Axrillians. Half of the reptilian warriors dropped immediately, their nervous systems overloaded. The remaining Axrillians fought valiantly but were clearly overwhelmed. That's when the humans went silent. No more tactical calls, no more acknowledgments, no shouts of warning or cries of pain. Just absolute, complete silence. Krex had interpreted this as defeat. Human allies have fallen, defensive positions only. He had ordered his remaining troops, believing themselves suddenly alone. What the Axrillians didn't understand was that the humans hadn't fallen. They had shifted into what their military termed apex predator mode. When humans face overwhelming odds, Admiral Thorne explained to the Council, our ancient instincts take over. We stop communicating not out of fear, but because we've entered a heightened state of focus. Speech becomes unnecessary, even disadvantageous. Every calorie of energy, every fraction of attention, becomes dedicated to survival and victory. Footage played before the Council showed what happened next at Outpost Epsilon. The 5 humans had moved with uncanny coordination without a single word exchanged. They flanked the enemy forces, used improvised weapons when ammunition ran low, and employed brutal close-quarter combat techniques that shocked even the battle-hardened Axrillians. Lieutenant Mason had taken down 3 enemies with his combat knife, while Private Wilson had repurposed a piece of corridor plating as both shield and bludgeon. The youngest team member, Private Lee, had reprogrammed a maintenance drone mid-battle to deliver explosive payloads. Not one word had been spoken between them for 17 minutes. By the time reinforcements arrived, the humans had secured the outpost, neutralized the enemy forces, and were tending to wounded Axrillians, all while maintaining that eerie silence. It was only after the threat was fully contained that they began speaking again, Thorne noted. Our Axrillian allies were disturbed by this behavior. Councillor Vrex shifted uncomfortably. So the silence indicates not defeat, but extreme lethality. Precisely, Thorne replied. Which is why we propose the implementation of the silent human alert across all joint forces. When human operatives go radio silent in combat situations, Allied commanders should be informed that this indicates escalation, not capitulation. The council chamber erupted in murmurs. Think of it as a weather warning system, Thorne continued, once the noise subsided. For most species, a storm brings loud thunder before the danger. For humans, the sudden absence of sound means the lightning is about to strike. The debate lasted for hours, with various representatives raising concerns about human unpredictability and the psychological impact on other species. Eventually, High Counselor Zinn raised a hand for silence. Admiral Thorne, the crystalline being's voice resonated. Your proposal is accepted. The silent human alert will be incorporated into joint combat protocols effective immediately. 3 months after implementation, casualty rates in joint operations decreased by 62%. Allied forces no longer retreated when humans went silent. Instead, they recognized it as the optimal moment to provide support for what would inevitably be a decisive counterattack. As Admiral Thorne explained in the follow-up assessment, in Earth's ancient history, our most dangerous predators didn't roar before they pounced. The truly lethal ones struck in silence. Despite millennia of civilization, that instinct remains coded in our DNA. When words cease, action begins. The Council never again questioned the unique alert system. In fact, enemy forces soon learned to fear the moment when human communications abruptly ceased, for it meant that diplomacy, strategy, and restraint had been set aside. What followed would be swift, efficient, and executed in perfect, terrifying silence.